Hey everyone, welcome to On the Rocks. I'm your trail guide, Claudia Collins, and I'm taking you along for my adventures as I trek hikes, waterfalls, and other outdoor activities off of my Arizona bucket list. Thanks to Desert Financial Credit Union, today we're hiking the Devil's Bridge in Sedona. Devil's Bridge Trail is 3.9 miles long with 521 feet of elevation gain, and it's rated moderate. Devil's Bridge is easily one of Sedona's most popular, if not the most popular hike. That's because there's an awesome bridge at the end that makes for awesome photo ops, but the Red Rock views are pretty much unmatched. So let's go check it out. If you're not lucky enough to get one of the very few spots at the car park at the trailhead, you'll need to be prepared to add another half mile to mile to your hike. If no spots are available, you want to take a right out of the trailhead and look for street parking down the road. I've never been able to easily snag a spot in the lot, so don't be discouraged if you don't either. The first portion of the hike is on a large open road that allows ATV and high clearance vehicle access. Although this isn't a typical trail, it had all of the typical Sedona Red Rock views you could hope for, and everything was still very much in bloom. The AllTrails app is actually really useful on this hike to look for the sign to head towards Devil's Bridge. I want to add that we got an early start to beat the heat. We hit the trail at about 8:30 a.m. and although it was cool when we started, it was hot when we finished hiking. This is probably the longest I've gone without a visit to Sedona. I'd encourage anyone in the valley to try making it a day trip. I love to drive up in the morning, go on a beautiful hike, grab lunch, and hang out by Oak Creek. And my favorite part of a Sedona road trip is stopping for pie on the way home. You can get some of the most delicious pie at the Rock Springs Cafe in Black Canyon City. Then you get to sleep in your own bed at night. Are you sold yet? Because if not, I think these views and maybe some strawberry rhubarb pie will do the trick. The last quarter to half mile of the hike is where all of the elevation gain comes in. One nice perk of this trail though is that if you go earlier in the day, you can find a lot of shade. Later in the day, it's a little harder to come by. As you climb, there's also a lot of different areas for some beautiful photo opportunities. We definitely took advantage of the shade and took some pictures of our pups. And yeah, back to that elevation gain, I have to say there's some areas with some solid scrambling. I noticed that it was a little outside of some hikers' comfort level, but remember to stick to your own limitations. And after one last scramble, we made it to Devil's Bridge. It took a little bit over an hour to get to the bridge. Been here a few times, so for me it's not worth waiting in line for 30 minutes for a photo, but it is a really cool photo op. Awesome background. You can see the bridge here and the line over in that direction. If you were expecting something different, you've probably noticed by now that Devil's Bridge is a natural bridge, and it is quite spectacular, but in my opinion, not worth fighting through the heat for 40 minutes to snag a picture. Although I have gotten one in the past. This trail has gotten really popular over the years. If you're able to, the earlier you hike, the shorter wait you'll have if you want a photo on the bridge. But despite the crowds at the end of the hike, we had a lot of fun, and I didn't feel like I missed out one bit. From where we parked on the road, I tracked 4.68 miles, and we finished the hike in 2.5 hours. I'd say it's really reasonable to finish between 2 and 3 hours. Probably closer to 3 hours if you wait for a picture, but if it's your first time, I'd say it's worth it. Hit up Devil's Bridge when you go to Sedona. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time on The Rocks.